Okay. All right. Hi, everybody. I believe we're live. Hello, welcome. Thank you for being here. Hi. Let me just move some things around real quick. There we go. How's everybody doing? Let's see, who do we have here? I saw we had Bert and Aisha. Hi, welcome. And JW and your daughter, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. All right, let's see who else. I saw that there was some more people. Sorry, this thing jumps around when I move it. I should just be looking on here, but there's a lag on that one, so it's frustrating. Hold on, just 1 second. Leslie, hi Leslie, and Scott Murphy, hello, hello. And am I missing anybody? I think that's everybody. I apologize if I'm missing anybody. I noticed that sometimes there will be comments in the chat. Hi Strawberry Time, hello. There will be comments in the chat sometimes that I miss. I don't know why I don't see them. It's very strange, so I don't know why that is. But I see them on the replay and I'm like, how did I miss that? I don't know. I don't know why that happens. So if I miss anybody, I really apologize for that. So today's video is going to be very interesting. I'm so excited. Let's see, how many people do we have here? I don't want to start talking too early. Let's see, we got 7. So let's just kind of settle in for a second. Oh, what happened here? Here we go. Let me know in the chat how you guys are doing with this energy. We had some crazy Schumann resonance blasting us. Crazy energy. And then on top of that, it was 420 for about 3 hours. We were in G1 solar storm conditions, and then we dropped kind of down to mild, and then we shot back up to like almost G1 again. Didn't quite get there, but almost. Got very close. Yeah, and it's just, I don't know if you guys have been feeling the Schumann resonance the last couple days, and kind of the energy from that. It's been pretty intense. And it's kind of funny because as I was preparing for this meditation this week, it brought to light a lot of the reasons why I have a lot of the symptoms that I do during these energy waves. And hopefully it will maybe shed some light on maybe some of yours as well. So I really hope that this is a beneficial meditation today. It's going to be a little bit different because I know too much. So I really had to break it down. Hi John Vinny, welcome. Thank you for being here. Hi Hannah Mori. Hi you guys. Thank you for being here. Oh, I'm so happy to have you guys. So I really had to just take just the more simple information that I have to share with you guys today, and I just have to save some of the more complex stuff for another time, for another video. So I also brought this guy to the meditation. So this is a new piece that I made, and I thought this was just perfect because I just recently made it. It's my newest item in the store, and it's a wire wrap, and it's very much connected to dragon energy. It's got lava stone, black onyx, I don't know, it's kind of hard to see in here. Can't tell, everything's backwards. And then the big stone in the middle is raw shungite. And then it's got the tree of life there. So if you want to check it out, check out my Etsy store. It's there. And it's going to be joining us for the meditation today so that you can get a feel for its energy. It's very powerful. I'm very excited. I get very attached to my pieces. They're like little beings to me. So whoever ends up buying this is very, very lucky. It's like a little piece of me goes home with you. Hi, Aisha. Thank you for being here. Oh, your daughter's name is Brianna. Tell her hello if she's present. Hello, Brianna. I'm sorry. I've got to get used to this live streaming thing. It's still a little bit strange. Wow. Let's see, the chat here on my phone is on way much of a lag versus on my computer, but if I touch it, the screen jumps around, so I gotta be careful. Here we go. Oh, hi, Tree Hugger Dave. Thank you for being here. Empowering light, intense. Yes, it's been, empowering is actually a really good word for this energy. Hi, Tom. Welcome. Thank you for being here. So I would like randomly have been seeing Tom's name kind of stand out in the community, and he had posted a video the other day, and for some reason I was just totally drawn to it. So thank you for being here. Welcome. Oh, she is. Hi, Brianna. Thank you for being here. Oh, I'm so happy to have everybody. Okay, so we've got 19 people in the house, so I feel like I can start kind of bringing through some of the information that I've been kind of going through as, hold on, let me pull my screen back up so that I don't have that lag. It throws me off every time, I swear. It's like so weird seeing myself in like a delay. Woo! Alright, okay, so this meditation, I have my candle there and I was just holding my paper. That's a fire hazard. Okay, so this meditation is going to be a little bit different than what I've been doing. So I really just want to kind of bring through some of the information now. And then as I bring through some of the information, I'll start I'm going to start running the energy, like, once I start bringing through the information. So if you want to get comfortable, get settled in, do that now, because the meditation's kind of going to start now. But I'm really just going to kind of bring through information, and then it's going to come through in light language as I continue to bring through more information. Because I've been having a really hard time with simplifying the information, so a lot of it's going to come through in light language, and then some of it in regular language. Bravery! You made it! Yay! I'm so happy. All right, cool. Who are we missing? Glitchy Glitch isn't in the house yet, but I'm sure he'll show up. And a few other people. I'm sure they'll stumble in eventually. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about is Genevieve, thank you for being here. I'm so happy. See, I was looking for your name. You must have heard me calling you. Alright, so dragons. What does that mean? Because it is both a symbolic thing, it's also something that is very much like an energetic thing. So it can be an aspect of you symbolically, and that's kind of how we're going to be using it as I'm bringing through this information and the meditation. So before we get too far into it, I want you all to kind of get yourself into a place. If you want to take a drink of water now, you can, but I want us to just take a few deep breaths so that we can relax our bodies, open our heart space, and open our minds so that we can maybe feel a little bit more grounded as we're receiving this information. It doesn't kind of like feel so chaotic. And it kind of helps me as well bring it through to you. So I've been working with a new frequency as I've been kind of connecting with these energies. And so this is in alignment with the Diamond Sun frequency, if anybody's familiar with that energy, with that frequency. And that's kind of what's going to be coming through to kind of assist with bringing through the information in this light language activation, meditation, and kind of a little bit of learning as well. And I saw a couple new people show up. Hi that way. Thank you for being here. Hi Soul Star Visions. Welcome. Welcome. Definitely a new name. Thank you for being here. Alright, so everybody just take a nice deep breath, but when you breathe in, I want you to visualize you breathing that energy in through the heart, and we're going to do it. You made it! Yay! Glitch. I told you guys he would show up. Alright, so we're going to take a nice deep breath, and we're going to breathe that energy in through the heart center so that we can open our hearts. So that as we're receiving this information, we're able to discern it through our heart center. So that everything that I say will either resonate with you or not resonate with you. That way I'm not instilling any programs within your subconscious that are going to maybe be of a situation that wouldn't be of your highest good. Any information I bring through, I always bring it through with the highest of intention and for the highest good. So that's why I want you as an individual to take the information you receive in through your heart as you take in these breaths. And that way you can discern it for yourself That way, if it resonates with you, it does, and that's amazing. If it doesn't, that's great too, because it's wonderful to listen to information even if it doesn't resonate with you, because it gives you a different perspective. So always being open to that is really important, all right? Because the topic we're kind of going to be discussing is a little bit controversial. And you might hear some background noise. I apologize for that. I think my cat is somewhere, but I'm not exactly sure. I keep hearing her rummaging around, so I'm not sure if she's in the closet or if she's outside my door. Just checking the chat real quick. Yeah. You've been liking the word diamond. Perfect. So that's a synchronicity. So the energy I'm working with is diamond sun frequency, diamond sun healing, and working with dragon energy. So one of the things about dragon energy and why it resonates with me so deeply and why I am so connected to dragons is because it's very connected to a lot of the things I've had to work through in this incarnation as a being and as, going through this ascension. So, symbolically, my cat's definitely over there somewhere, so I really apologize for that noise. What does this mean to me or to the collective? What is my perception of the symbology of the dragon energy? To me, it's an alchemical process. An alchemical process of an individual soul integration, moving chaos into harmony. So essentially, learning. Sorry, there's so much noise going on there, so I apologize if I feel a little bit. I get distracted easily. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can get her out of the way. So Luna, come on. You're making so much noise. Come on. I can't think straight when you do that. I don't know if it's just I have a really hard time when there's like noises going on in the background, thinking straight and especially when I'm trying to bring through information. So I apologize for that. So let me see if I can grab my tourmaline, ground myself back down. Take a deep breath. Okay, so I was talking about like my perception and how I see it as an alchemical process. Because to me, my energy in all my forms is also a form of energy, because everything is energy. So you can see dragon energy, dragon form, as sort of a primordial form of consciousness. And what do we think when we think primordial? We think like kind of like the underworld, right? The inner like here I wrote down notes so that I would be able to stay on track. So, so I wrote the primordial consciousness of the underworld. So kind of that inner under consciousness. So you have above and below forms of consciousness. So dragon consciousness, dragon energy would be more of that primordial, that inner. So this can even be seen as and symbolized as, and sorry, I keep checking my notes so that I can stay on track. I apologize for these environments. I'm not looking away. I have a cat here. She might start playing with them. So, okay. So we were talking about the primordial consciousness of the underworld and how that's connected to the inner. So what do we think of inner, outer? So inner unconscious, outer conscious. Inner is more feminine, outer's a little more masculine. And that's kind of where we hit a paradox. And this is where I was like, ooh, interesting. So when we think of dragons, dragon energy, we almost always refer to it as a masculine energy. Because in a sense it is a masculine energy. When it's in its balance of dragon energy, there's a feminine side and a masculine side. So the feminine side would be more of that mother feminine energy, that like the mother aspect, and this can even be considered as the dark mother aspect, which is why it's even been considered to be used in black magic, or it's been used in black magic, dragon symbology and dragon energy, because it can be connected to that, and everything is frequency. and everything is energy. So it's like, how do you use the energy? What's the frequency? And what is the intention behind the way that energy is being used will dictate essentially how its outcome. So when I'm talking about these things, I'm talking about symbolically. I'm not saying dragons are the Dark Mother. Dragons are bad. I'm saying no. This is how they've been depicted, because this is part of their energy. This is part of what dragon energy is, and we have to accept that. And that's part of working with dragons, and working with dragon energy is learning to accept darkness and understand it. And that's why, and I'll come back to some of the symbolization in just a minute, because I want to go to how we kind of perceive dragons in synchronicities. My thing is going out of focus. Dreams and synchronicities, and how those can kind of align with information, and how we're connecting with our dragon, how it's kind of bringing through information to us. So for me, a lot of times I'll see dragons in meditation, or I'll see them in clouds during certain experiences, or I'll see them in dreams. And there's always certain things that are connected to how kind of energetically I'm perceiving this experience. So I wrote down a few things, and this is all my perception, so this needs to be taken, with your own discernment, of just little things that you can kind of maybe align with, potentially, if these are things that you also see or experience when working with dragon energy. So repeated visits from dragons, or synchronicities of dragons, can indicate tests from your lower self, your more primordial self. So these would be tests involving primal thoughts, actions, and urges. And it's funny because we all have primal thoughts, actions, and urges. So how do we dictate those when they come through as thought forms? How do we react to them? Do we take action? Do we transmute the energy? How does that energy flow through our system as it comes through, as it's created? Because these are things that we have to deal with as we're facing our darkness, as we're facing our shadow, is understanding these thought forms. And this is also how you learn how to discern thought forms that are yours and thought forms that are essentially not yours. By taking responsibility for every thought and action that comes through your mind, that comes through your energy, there's less potentiality for infringement, because you're taking responsibility for it. So the infringement becomes basically impossible, because you can't infringe on something that you're responsible for. If you are responsible for every thought, you have a thought that comes through your mind, you're like, that is not in resonance with who I am, transmute it. That's you taking responsibility for that thought. If you have a thought that comes through your mind that becomes an action that is negative, and you're like, oh, well, it was infringement, and not taking responsibility for it, that's not working with dragon energy properly. That's allowing it to essentially bulldoze you. Hi, Katie. Oh, thank you for being here. I'm so glad to have you. Hi, Emoji King. Welcome. And hi, Lauren. Welcome. Anybody else, if I missed you, I apologize. I try to check the chat every now and then, but I do get on my tangents. And I get distracted easily, so sometimes I'll forget what I'm talking about if I look away too much. So, real quick, I want to go over a couple little things that you might... So I did repeated visits, and how this can be like tests. Tests of your primal thoughts, actions, urges, looking at, or wanting to be looked at, to be understood, healed, and balanced. So balance is really important, and balance is something that came through multiple times as I was kind of going through this information. Balance is absolutely important when working with dragon energy, because dragon energy is so powerful. It's very powerful energy, and so you have to understand exactly what you're working with. So a lot of times this is why people will go into fear, especially when dragon energy presents itself, because they just don't understand it. They're like, oh, it's just bad because it's showing you your shadows, and instead of allowing it to be a teacher, because that's what it is. Dragons are the greatest teachers, because if you can transmute the lowest aspect of your being, the most primordial form of your consciousness, that is that's ultimately like the best thing you can do. That's becoming one with every darkness that's balanced. I mean, that's becoming the dragon rider, and this is one of the symbols that you can have in dreams, or be seeing dragons being ridden, if this is like a synchronicity for you, feeling as if you are a dragon rider. I think my thing is backwards, is it? Yeah, it is. This could mean that you are a teacher, and because you learn from your mistakes, this could mean you've had a lot of hard tests and tough battles and shadows you've had to defeat, and you've chosen to have a really, really hard time because you wanted those dark, dense experiences in order for them to be great, powerful teachers, so that you could transmute the energy very powerfully. And this is where a lot of fear comes into play, because when the shadow work starts, when the shadow work starts, when you start working with this, you start seeing aspects of you that you don't want to see, that you're like, no, that's not me. I could never do that. I could never be that being. I could never be that person. You don't want to look at it, but you have to. You have to take responsibility for those aspects, those lifetimes, those parts of you, in order for them to be transmuted. If you can't take responsibility for them, they'll never be transmuted, and they'll always continue to create imbalance. This is why balance is so important. This is why learning to face your shadow, face the dragon, don't be afraid of it, and become the dragon rider. And as the dragon rider, you are one. You're one with the dragon. You every movement, every thought, everything coming from that dragon is you, because you are one with the dragon as the dragon rider. And that is what, hi Soul Moon's Rising, thank you for being here. And this is why seeing that synchronicity is so amazing, especially if you are a spiritual teacher. This is like telling you you're on the right path. You are sharing the wisdom that is within you rather than hoarding it. If you're having dreams or synchronicities of like dragon hoarding gold, maybe you have great knowledge, great wisdom within you that you're not sharing, that you should be. And that could be symbolic of what is trying to be, brought to you through messages, through synchronicities, and even through dreams. If you see it a lot in movies, that's a synchronicity. My ear is going off right now. So, one of the other things that you might see often is a sleeping dragon. So, this is something I used to see a lot in the past, and I never understood it until after my awakening. So, seeing a sleeping dragon, especially a sleeping dragon in a cave, is very connected to not wanting to face your darkness. And essentially your kundalini being the representation of the dragon, being asleep, a sleeping dragon energetic system within you. Your creative force energy is asleep. That's why when I had, because kundalini, there's so much to it. I'm not going to get into that too much here. But when I had a kundalini awakening, I went through intense shadow work, because as I was facing the dragon, I had to go into the cave. And that is the scariest part. You know there's a sleeping dragon in there. It's dark. It's scary. You don't want to do it. It's easier to just pretend like it's not there and just turn around and walk. No, I don't want to do that. What are you talking about? There's a dragon in there. No! Eventually, you just gotta grow some balls and just go in there and wake up the dragon, face it, learn everything you can from it, battle it, whatever, however that works inside your mind, and then become it. Become the dragon rider, however that works for you. Alright, so on that topic, because when you awaken the dragon, oftentimes you will have angry dragon synchronicities, raging dragon, experiences. This is your kundalini awakening. This is your chaos coming forward to be brought into balance. pay attention to what that chaos is showing you. Because it's showing you exactly where the imbalance is. If there's chaos, that means there's an imbalance somewhere. Find the chaos, transmute it into harmony. That's the alchemical process that the dragon energy teaches you. That the dragon teaches you. That's why dragons are so amazing. That's why you should never be afraid of them. So you should embrace the energy. Let it teach you to be more powerful, to be more one with Source, with all the aspects of you, instead of hiding from the darker side of you. You can't hide. You're not going to get anywhere if you just hide from those parts of you. Sarah! Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have a special guest in the house, and I'm so excited right now. Woo! So Sarah Reeves in the house. Sarah Reeves is such an important being to me. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited you're here. So, from like back in the day, before any of this, I mean, she knew me when I was like a kid. Like, she knows parts of me that most of you guys will probably never get to know. I'm so happy you're here. Oh, I'm so happy. And you know what's funny, because we haven't talked for a while, because I moved out of Lake Tahoe. I moved to to San Francisco, and then I moved to Bend, and we just have not talked for such a long time. We recently reconnected because of Facebook, and so Facebook can be such a pain in the ass, but it can also be friggin' amazing, because you reconnect with people that are really important to you, and it reminds you why they were so important to you. So I just want to send you so much love, Sarah. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. And I did see Not So Fancy Nancy also. I just wanted to say hi, because I didn't get to say hi to you yet, and anybody else that I'm missing. Alright, so, I think I got through, like, dreams and synchronicities, and, so I want to touch on a couple more things, just because we were talking about dreams and synchronicities, and what, dragon energy can represent, because I didn't mention how dragon energy can really bring out your innermost fears. It will show you the things that you are the most afraid of. So pay attention to the experiences that you have that are being kind of brought up as you're working with dragon energy. And these are things that are really deep, like a lot of childhood trauma, a lot of stuff happening from the first 3 chakras. And this is also because, and this is something that I just discovered, and I couldn't even believe that I didn't even realize this. This is because all of our chakras have, like, energetic, things that they're attached to. So dragons are also connected to, I don't know if that's I don't like that word too much. Connected to a chakra. So this is actually kind of a lesser known chakra. This is the 9th chakra. So most people know of 7 chakras. There are actually many chakras, like more chakras than you can count, chakras within chakras within chakras within chakras. And chakra systems are really actually not set in stone. So it's like, which system do you want to be operating on? So the system that I'm speaking of is a chakra connected to what is referred to as the 9th chakra. This has also been referred to as the atomic doorway, the projector of light consciousness, and also the soul chakra. It's also been called the mouth of God. That was another one that I stumbled on today. That was interesting, because I was finding a lot of connection to the light language, synchronicities with the higher heart and the 9th chakra. So that was interesting that it was connected to that. So this chakra is actually connected in the back of your neck, right at the base of your skull. So the soul star. I don't know. I feel like that might be another one. I'll have to find out because there's so many different names for different chakras, and this is why I'm like, none of this stuff is set in stone, okay? This is an operating system that you can essentially work with until you understand how energy works, and then you can develop your own operating system. Always know that. Always know that you are your own, operator. You're always going to be your own operator, and everything going on here, none of that is set in stone. Everything is like fluid. Think of yourself as a bunch of little particles mashed together, moving at a rapid rate of speed, and you can actually change the speed of the particle rotation with your consciousness. Changing your consciousness changes the speed of your particle rotation, which changes your physicality. So it's possible. As much as people want to be like, it's not possible, that's a limiting thought form. That's a limiting belief system. And that's one of the things that we're learning to bypass, to get over, to reprogram. Omega Dragon. Interesting. I haven't heard of that. I'll have to look that up. Last night, I forced myself awake because I got scared, but when I woke up is when I realized I was about to go out of body. That is so interesting you said that, because in my dream hacking course that I took, one of the things they talk about is astral projection, like when you wake up in the middle of the night right before you go out of body, and how connected it is to like sleep paralysis, and how a lot of people, if their root chakra is not in balance, will experience a lot of fear during sleep paralysis, or if they've never experienced sleep paralysis, they don't know what the heck's going on. Of course, they're going to be afraid and freaked out. And that can actually stop you from being able to have the astral projection. So that could have been what you experienced. Your dragon helps you simmer down? Yeah. Me too, because it's like, it shows you exactly why you're freaking out. If you're willing to pay attention to what the energy is showing you, it will tell you a lot. It's like, so many of us, we're just so fast and so busy, we don't want to slow down enough to pay attention to the messages as they're coming through, because they're all around us. I mean, everywhere. Like, when you really start to open your eyes to the synchronicities and to the messages, and how your dragons and your guides and your angels and your everybody, the spirits, how they communicate with you, you would be blown away how like ignorant you may have been in the past to their communication. Let's see. I'm just checking the chat real quick so I can make sure I'm not missing any questions. I'm gonna have to look for my phone real quick. All right, guys, give me just 1 second, because I want to make sure I'm not missing any questions before I go any further. Okay. So, sorry. Thank you so much for being patient with me, you guys. Oh crap! This isn't even showing me what's going on. All right. Sleep. So you've had it in the past, sleep paralysis, and someone spoke to you and moved the bed. So you had an experience with a spirit, because when you're in a state of sleep paralysis, you're actually in a liminal state, or a hypnagogic state, a state of like right before you go into like hypnosis, kind of that in between. Hi, Chakra Bunny. Thank you for being here. Hi, Kibo. I'm not sure how to say your name, but thank you for being here. Sorry, I lost what I was saying. This is when your third eye will be the most open, because you are in such a surrendered state that you're not consciously blocking it from being open. So you will actually be seeing liminal spaces and spirits that are close enough to you dimensionally, so like 4th and 5th dimensional spirits that are connecting with you. So you can see ghosts, apparitions, orbs, fairies, dragons, all kinds of things when you're in that state. Sorry, I totally butchered your name. Dragon energy is why you love Peach Dragon so much as a kid. So yeah, and I've been obsessed with dragons my whole life, because I've had to deal with a lot of shadows my whole life. Like, I did not have an easy upbringing, and I had a really, really hard mom. Like, the whole dark mother aspect of dragon energy resonated with me so deeply, because my mom energy was so distorted because of the relationship I had with my mother. And I had to do a lot of healing, and actually, like, a lot of that was through becoming a mom and seeing how to be better and learning how to be better. And then also when I catch myself and I can hear my mom's voice and my voice saying things or doing things that would hurt me when I was a kid, I can stop it and I can transmute it. And that not only transmutes the energy for me, for my inner child, it transmutes it for my entire, like, everything, like, all my bodies, like, all my aspects, people connected to me, like, my family lineage, my children. So it's like, when you heal yourself, you don't just heal yourself. You heal, like, everything, everyone that you're connected to, because if you think about, like, what is called spooky action at a distance, it's quantum entanglement, everything is connected. You heal one little thing, everything that's spooky action at a distance, quantumly entangled into that experience, dissolves. So all the people that were attached to that experience no longer have to hold that energy. It's like you heal it not just for you, but for everybody that is connected to that energy. It's amazing. That's why self-healing is so powerful. That's why awakening is so powerful. That's why going on these journeys is so hard, but so powerful, but so rewarding. And that's why I'm like, when I see people waking up, I'm like, this is going to be really hard, but I'm so proud of you. It's going to be so worth it. And I root them on. I'm cheering every single one of you guys on, because this is not an easy journey, but what you guys are doing, not just for yourselves, but for your families, is just, like, it's priceless. It really is. Yes, physics. So Sarah's super, super knowledgeable when it comes to esoteric stuff too, and it's cool because it's like, I don't think we really even realized either one of us, like, kind of even knew any of that stuff. I was still very much a child when you knew me back then. I had to grow up a lot after San Francisco. That was a really intense experience for me. You continue to grow up even after you're an adult. Like, I've grown up so many times since I became an adult. I became an adult, you know, as a kid, and then continue to grow up, and then grow up, and then grow up, and then grow up. Oh. Soul star is about 6 inches above the head. Okay. Like I said, there's so many chakras, and there's chakras within chakras within chakras, and chakras are also based on perception, because everything is energy. We're all just energetic beings having an experience. We are creators of that experience as well. You have a question about dragon energy. Katie, what is that question? I hope I'm not missing other people's questions. My chat keeps jumping up and down, so I hope I'm not missing anything too much. Your wife is starting to say similar things, Scott Murphy. Yay, that's so exciting. You have to find a medium between grounding and being a part of the spirit realm so you connect with the human body, because we are all star beings, which I love because that's so true. Understanding, like, and how she's mentioning finding that medium between grounding is so important, because a lot of people just want to fly off into, you know, the higher realms, astral realms, and just forget about the whole how important it is to be grounded. Because how are you going to bring those lower aspects into light if you just push them to the side and just forget about them and just fly off into another dimension? You're eventually going to have to revisit them, and it's going to be a lot harder. So why not just take care of it now? And honestly, like, I want to integrate on that more, but I feel like my own consciousness needs to integrate more on that. Sarah, I'm so glad you're here. Oh, man. We need to, like, have some more chats. We never stop learning. No, you will never, ever be done learning. There's never... Wisdom is infinite. You will learn you will conquer that lowest form, become one with that lowest form, and then it's like, because everything has, you know, if you think in terms of geometry, I don't know, I would have to like draw it. Everything always has an infinite point, a point of, what's the word, fusion? I don't know why fusion is coming to mind. Maybe that's when it's like once you have become one with that point, that lowest form, that's when the fusion occurs, and that's when a new form of creation occurs. And that's why, that makes sense, that's why dragon energy can be so connected to the womb. I was trying to figure out why dragon energy was so connected to the womb, and that makes perfect sense symbolically how that would be connected to the womb. Conquering that form is a new birth of creation, that being connected to the creative force energy. And how that is also connected to like divine memory, divine Akashic records, divine wisdom held within that divine memory. I have so many notes and I don't even know what I said and what I didn't, so I'm not even going to look at them anymore. Throw those away. So, we are 41 minutes into the chat, and I haven't really started the meditation yet. I mean, I kind of did, but I didn't do any light language yet because so much information coming through. So, I want to open you guys up for questions. Go ahead and start running those through the chat. And then anybody else, I want you to just start taking some nice deep breaths, and just kind of bring your energy back down to center as we kind of focus back into the heart. And I'm going to be looking down for just a second, that way I can read any questions that came through, as I'm kind of tuning into the energy, to allow the light language to come through. And I'm actually going to bring this into this and talk about synchronicity. So I have been kind of wanting to find some thunder eggs, because we have them, a lot of them all around. And so we went out on a walk the other day, and I was so bummed because I was like looking everywhere hoping to find one. And then yesterday my husband came home with this thunder egg that he found on the job site while he was digging. He's a fence builder, and it's freaking gorgeous, and it has amazing energy. So I'm so excited to bring this to the meditation today. Let's see. If I don't feel a connection to the energy of my shadow, to feel a connection to the dragon energy of my shadow side, yet I have been downloading a zillion pics of dragons, and I see them all as powerful, burning away all the negativity of my life. That's actually very good. That means that you are actively working through your shadows, and your dragon is showing you that you're going through a purification process. This is a very good thing. This is like your dragon rooting you on, saying you are empowering yourself. You are not afraid of your shadow because you're not in fear. You are empowering yourself. You are becoming sovereign through that purification energy. You're allowing the energy to purify you. So this is actually a beautiful, very, very good thing. Katie, thank you for sharing. I have chills, like, thinking about it. Can this mean I understand about the phoenix rising from the fire and the ashes? I feel like phoenix and... Yes, I feel like there's a connection there, but I don't really know enough about it to go into detail to really elaborate on that right now. I would have to sit down, meditate on that, my ear just started ringing, and really kind of be able to integrate the connection between the phoenix rising from the ashes with the dragon energy, which could be even symbolically meaning once you conquer that shadow, that dragon, become the dragon rider, you also go through that death and rebirth process. It's like that death, the rebirth, the phoenix rising from the ashes is maybe the it could even, you know, and I don't know, this is just possibility, could be, you know, what the form becomes once you hit that fusion point. it's possible. I mean, everything's energy and everything is perception. So, like I said, I'm gonna have to sit and meditate on that one for a while before I can like really integrate that. Thank you, Sarah. I know some of this probably doesn't make sense, JW. I'm sorry. Maybe it will in the future. I try to simplify things, but I'm bad. That's what Glitch is really good at. Glitch, are you in the chat? I think he's in the chat. So my buddy Glitch, he's really good at taking the information that I bring through and simplifying it. So any of you guys in the chat, definitely follow his channel because he brings through lots of really simplified, like, potent information. Definitely follow him. Hi, Deliana. Thank you for being here. Welcome. Growing is the eternal journey inward and outward. Exactly. And it's infinite. You're always expanding and contracting and expanding and contracting. And so it's part of how this universe works. You know, and it's not the same for every universe. This universe, that's kind of how things work. John Benny, I had a meditation that I was a red dragon in a previous incarnation. That's beautiful. That's wonderful. And I hope that you can bring more stories through about connecting with your dragon. Yes, thumbs up the video, you guys. Thank you, Glitch. It definitely helps get this information out there. It shows, you know, YouTube that you guys like kind of what I'm bringing through. You're picking up what I'm putting down. The lights behind me remind me of your grandparents' Christmas lights when you were growing up. Aww. I like the different colors. It brings some color to the room. I love color. Speaking of colors, like, whenever I connect with my dragon, it's like it changes colors. It's like people are always like, my dragon's this color, my dragon's that color. I'm like, my dragon's all different colors. It's like me. It's like, its color depends on its environment, and I think that's because it's a lot like me. And my color, like even my hair, like everything about me, I very much am a chameleon, and my dragon energy represents a lot of that aspect of me. Oh, 444 here in Scotland. Well, I guess I'm 4 minutes late on that because it's 8:48 here. And Glitch says it's 11:44 where he's at. Amazing. So many synchronicities. You were having pressure in your ears too, not so fancy Nancy? Okay, I'm not the only one. That energy was really coming through. You guys are getting some strong downloads. See, that's the cool thing about, like, even when I'm not speaking the actual light language, you guys are still getting, like, codes. Like, as I'm bringing through this information, it's essentially, like, kind of downloading into your subconscious to be integrated later on. So sometimes the things that I'll say, you're like, what the heck? I don't even understand that. And then, like, a week later, you'll be like, oh my gosh, I totally get it now. That's kind of cool how it works, huh? Right? Yay for time zones. Yes, we definitely have to FaceTime, Sarah. Oh my gosh, I miss you so much. Very powerful lesson today because we were messing up the broadcast. Am I bluffering? Am I buffering pretty bad? Because that energy, like, I'm starting to sweat just a little bit. Like, I can feel the fire. It's intense. Whew. Tom Eden, I think the dragon fire is talking about the aurora inside our heart of fractal plasma fire. That is a huge synchronicity. Tom, holy crap. So, I have been, like, on one with Aurora Consciousness and the Dragon Luminaries, and I really wanted to bring that through, but I just didn't have enough I had so much information, and I didn't feel like I had enough understanding of that to bring it through with the information that I was already bringing through. But oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said that. That's such a synchronicity. So if you guys want to kind of do some of your own research, look into the dragon luminaries and aurora consciousness. If you really want to get your mind blown, like, it's amazing. Oh, I think I need to I need to drink water after that one. Okay. You don't understand why your ears are feeling so much pressure, because you are getting mad downloads. Not so fancy Nancy. Like, be prepared to have some amazing dreams. Yours is iridescent. Oh, I love it. That's so beautiful. I love us all talking and connecting with our dragons. So, now that I'm caught up on the chat. Okay. The back of your neck has pressure, and that's the 9th chakra. Ooh, before I forget, because I feel like this is so important and I forgot to mention this. How the back of the neck, the 9th chakra. Okay, so all of us, we have this part of our brain called the reptilian part of our brain, also known as the medulla oblongata. So who has seen the movie Waterboy, where they're talking about, I think it was either crocodiles or alligators or something like that, and they're like, why do crocodiles get angry? And Waterboy, dude, you know, Adam Sandler's character, I can't think of the name right now, it's like totally blowing my mind, said something about, like, you know, my mama says they're angry because they got too much teeth and they're not enough toothbrushes to brush all them teeth or something like that. And then he's like, no, it was the medulla oblongata, like telling him that his mom was wrong because it was the medulla oblongata. So to really understand what the medulla oblongata is, it's the reptilian part of the brain. So what they were talking about is what is responsible for, like, anger and aggression in alligators or crocodiles. I'm not exactly sure which I guess I should have watched the movie earlier today before we started this meditation, but I just didn't really think that that I was gonna go into that, but it just popped in my head, so I felt like I had to share that with you. So the reptilian part of the brain is really connected to our anger and our aggression, and so the 9th chakra right there below it gets very much, it stimulates your anger and your aggression when that chakra is opening and it's you know, expanding. So it's going to be hitting that part of your brain, that reptilian part of your brain. And so this, you're wrong, Colonel Sanders. I'm hoping that was a line from the movie, I'm guessing. I'm definitely going to have to watch this movie again now that I've, like, mentioned it. So, one of the things that I realized was the 9th chakra is very much connected to the 3 lower chakras. How it kind of feeds thought forms through the 3 lower chakras as it's working its energy through, because it's connected to, and I wrote this down, the instinctual mind, the conscious mind, and the unconscious mind. So the instinctual mind is connected to the root chakra, the unconscious is connected to the sacral chakra, and the conscious mind is connected to solar plexus. So if you have energy that is imbalanced or blocked, so it's like hitting that chakra and then activating that part of your brain, you're going to be having anger and aggression. So in order to understand why the anger and aggression is there, is to understand what is happening with the energy. So this is also one of the crazy realizations that I had, and I've mentioned this before in my lives, how I have not necessarily in my lives, but in other videos, how I have problems with migraines, and how I've had problems in the past with seizures, with having seizures, and how that was connected to, like, a misfiring in my brain. And what I realized is how much this misfiring in my brain was actually connected to blocks in the 9th chakra that were feeding negative thought forms through my lower chakras that were also out of balance. So it was this blocked energy that was not working. My heart chakra wasn't working properly. My ninth chakra wasn't working properly. My lower chakras were completely blown out. And I'm running like strictly from like a heart chakra was completely overactive. So it was totally out of balance, like not working well. And because of that, I was dealing with a lot of migraines, a lot of fatigue, like chronic fatigue, like just constantly feeling just drained of energy. And just having a lot of pain, numbness, like stiffness in the back of my neck, to where it's just like unbearable amounts of pain, where I'm just always like, oh, I'm in so much pain, I don't know what to do. Because there was blockages within that chakra. And then it would cause a lot of anger. Like, and I had also mentioned before how I would get very angry when I would have migraines, and I would take out my anger on the people around me, and I just blame it on the fact that I was in pain. But it was because that pain was caused by blocks that were essentially activating the reptilian part of my brain, which was coming back to the lower thought forms, feeding through my lower bodies, my 3 lower bodies, hitting unconscious traumas, bringing conscious anger to the surface, and then feeding like off of my fear and my instinctual like fight or flight impulses. So it's basically a hot mess. And realizing like how this played into my reality and how I could essentially heal it through just understanding how the chakra works and the energy systems connected to it, and how the body is affected by it essentially being out of balance, was just like, whoa! Completely like opened my mind, blew my mind. I was just like, I have so much work to do. The energy healing process, it never ends. Oh my gosh, I felt a huge, like, sorry about that, huge clearing, you guys. That was a good one. Alright, I gotta check the chat one more time. Water sex, really good sex. I love my water. Best water in the world. That was the water backfiring on that comment. Totally got me in the nose. Oh. Bobby Boucher! Thank you, Glitch! Thank you! Oh my god, I could not think of it to save my life! What would I do without you? Oh my gosh. Glitch's dragon is black, sexy, with green eyes, badass. That is pretty badass. Nice. Ugh. Sorry, I saw water like in my eyelashes, like a water droplet like on my eyelashes. Good thing I don't wear makeup anymore. I'd have like eyeliner spirit everywhere. I'm like, I remember I stopped wearing makeup for a really long time, and then I started wearing it again at work, and I kept rubbing my eyes, so I was just like stopped wearing it. And I have not. I just like cannot get back into the habit. It's been like 2 or 3 years now since I stopped wearing it. It's so much better. My skin loves me so much more. I mean, I still get breakouts and stuff, but not like I used to. Like my whole forehead used to just like, let me breathe. I'm like, no. What do blue dragons mean? Well, if you think about the color blue could represent water. It could also represent expression. It could also be connected to the throat chakra. So expressing through maybe like feminine energy. So you could have maybe like a female dragon. I don't really know that much about that. But you know, actually, you said blue dragon. That's so interesting, because I just remembered I did write something down in one of my notes about blue dragons being connected to Sirius. Oh, I don't know where it is though. Oh yeah, the Christos Syrian blue dragons being connected to Sirius. So you could have some connection to Syrian family, star family, and your blue dragon could essentially be part of that energy. Potentially. So, I did write down a bunch of other stuff about dragons, like kind of the good and the bad, but I'll save that for another day, because I really want to bring through some light language before we get too late into the chat, because we're going to start losing people. I mean, we still have 27 people in the chat. That's amazing. Like, I'm so happy you guys are all here. Electric blue dragon, magnetic. Red dragon. Yeah, that makes sense. Red dragon would be like masculine. And when I was looking at like the energetic frequency of dragons, like inner and outer, like if you put masculine and feminine together, like a dragon in its androgynous form, you would have its inner form connected to sapphire blue would be the third eye. Okay. You gotta go to bed. Good night, Bert. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Are you trying to get out? My cat's trying to open the door. Like, she's straight up trying to turn the doorknob right now. She's so smart. She was up on my sewing machine box, like, pawing at the knob, trying to turn the knob. Like, she's figured if she could just get it to turn all the way, right? She's so smart. Yours is white and black to you. Amazing. Cool. You can't stop rocking, so because you're probably picking up the energy, allowing it to kind of flow through you. John Vinny, I have channeled dragons. Oh, I missed it. It just went away. I just saw it for a second. Darn it. I have channeled dragons a couple of times during meditation, so deep and powerful, so wise and so full of love. Yes, so because everything happens simultaneously, you can experience your dragon in all its forms. It's all about what is that dragon there to teach you. So if you experience your dragon in a form that is maybe not what you wanted to have for your first experience, maybe it was something that was scary, then that could just mean that it was trying to show you something and that you were afraid of that you needed to overcome. Sorry, I just felt a lot of energy come in for a second. So, I just kind of got the message, like, there's always going to be reasons to kind of connect with the things that we're afraid of, because if we just kind of push them to the side and not deal with those fears, they're always going to come back, because things have a way of looping themselves around. History has a way of repeating itself. So if something happens in experience that's kind of scary, instead of just being like, I don't want to have that experience again, or refuse to look at that experience, I'm not saying you have to connect with dragons or dragon energy, just maybe look at why that experience caused you fear. What was that fear trying to show you? What was it trying to teach you? Maybe what was it trying to show you had to overcome in that moment? And it could be in just that moment. I mean, maybe you already overcame it. I'm just taking a minute, like, I'm kind of like tuning into the frequency and the energy, allowing the messages to come through, so I just kind of sort through what's in my space. What I'm going to be bringing through right now is just some light language. This is going to be coming through not just dragon energy, but this is also going to be coming through some cosmic energy. This is coming through some aurora consciousness energy, so this is like threefold founder flame energy. They really want to kind of bring through some codes to help activate. I'm hearing sovereignty program. I don't know. That's just like how my consciousness is reading the information. This is basically just removing programs that are connected to feeling under something. It's like it's being stuck in an energy, allowing an energy to essentially dictate you, overpower you, scare you. This is helping bring that to light so that you can overcome it. Just take a nice deep breath. Take a nice deep breath and visualize golden white light surrounding your entire body. Allow it to fill your space now so that you can feel safe and you can feel protected. That way any energy, any things that come up as these codes are coming through, you can release the fear rather than allowing it to take you down. Sa'ar kier nakadasha ar kier nukur anakadasha ar kur sa'ar sikir nakadasha ar sir nakadasha ar nar kier nakar sir okur sa'ar kier nakadasha ar nuar sa'ar sihir kier nakadasha ar ki ar sa'ar ar kira ar sir Rasharascar Caris Asahar Sir Caris Arsir Carsir Carsir Sar Car Ars Ars Arhi Por Mukush Ar Har Sir nakadash ar har sir nakadash ar har nkara nakadash ar har ki ar hir nakadash ar hir kurs ar nakadash ar hir nakadash ar nakadash ar ur sar sir har kir nakadash ar kar sir kir nakadash ala karas irs arkir karas irs karist arkir Kura Natasha Aris Ir Natasha Ara Ir Karis Ir Nakatasha Ir Allow the frequencies to fill your space now. Breathe in deeply the energy. Allow it to fill every cell, every bone, every fiber. Activating, assimilating the energy, integration, initiation, Nukurs arkir, nakatash arkir, nakatash arkir, nakatash ir sa arkir. Karist ala karis ir sa arkir, nakatash ir. Karistiar sa ir. Nukura nakatash ar. Okay. So if you want to take a few moments, take a few breaths to allow the energy to anchor within your being. Kind of allow yourself to kind of come back to your body. I know it's easy to start traveling when that energy gets so high. And the energy is still kind of flowing. I can still feel it very strongly. I'm just going to check on the chat and see how everybody's doing. Alright. Water boy. I think I said water boy. I could have been wrong. I've watched so many Adam Sandler movies. It's like they all kind of mold into one. We don't need to make up, we need to wake up. That's glitch. Tom Eden, my angry dragon is going for a joint. Yeah, some relaxation. It's good for grounding, you know. It's like that it's like the plant energy, the fire energy. If you really know how to embrace the energy that is held within, you can really, really, really connect. And, you know, fire and dragon energy. I wonder if that's why we had that crazy G1 storm on 420. Everybody was lighting up, connecting with their dragons. It's not so nice, or it's so nice. Okay, it's so nice to get confirmation for your physical feelings. Tell me about it. When I was having all those health problems, I was like, why am I dying? Why is this happening to me? Why am I going through all of this? When I realized that all my health problems were connected to energetic blocks within certain chakras, a lot within my higher heart, my ninth chakra, and a lot of my lower chakras, my first 3 chakras were just completely just like blown out. I really realized why I had so many health problems and where they were connected to and what systems were running them. And I was able to essentially discover the traumas that were feeding those energetic imbalances so I could start healing them and start fixing the energy, fixing my health. Like if you look at me, pictures of me, even just a year ago, I looked so old. I was like, I was so sick before I, like even still in the beginning of my awakening, but before even, like, my skin was like gray. Like I had no color. I was gray. I looked old. I had bags on my bags. I had dark circles under my eyes. I mean, still do a little bit because I'm a mom, but like I almost feel like I've like almost like age reversed. Like I've lost a lot of that looking old and gray and drab that I had. It's like I got my color back. I got my life back through this healing that I've been doing, working with dragon energy, and that's why dragon energy is so powerful, because it's like it will light a fire under your tushy and like make you face some shadows. And if you're ready to do it, you're ready to kick some ass, then you will ascend really fast. You will become that dragon rider really fast. Your dragon is drinking Corona and eating mint chocolate Kit Kats. Wait, no, that's you. The paradox of Corona. I love it. The crown. Oh. I do miss a good brewski, but it's like I can't do alcohol anymore. It's just one of those triggers that I just had to give up, like sugar. Alcohol is there's a lot of sugar in alcohol though, so it makes sense. Oh, my nose is getting stuffy. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the sniffles. John Binney, I feel there's dragon energy with you, Faery, through this live stream. It's like I can see them floating around you in the room. That's so exciting! Yes, no, there was lots of dragons in here. They weren't mine. I feel like they were your guys' dragons here in the room with me. Like, when I would close my eyes, I was literally surrounded by dragons. Dragon energy. Like, it was amazing. And it was you guys. Like, you guys are so... Your dragons are beautiful. You guys are beautiful. You're powerful. You're amazing. I'm so blessed to be able to have this experience with you. To be able to get to do this with you guys. Like, honestly, oh, my heart is just, it's like exploding right now. Not so fancy Nancy says, this is so intense, I'm buzzing. Yeah, I was like burning up. Did anybody else's kundalini like fire up their back during that light language? Like mine did. I was like, woo! There's definitely a fire going on under there. I gotta figure out how to take drinks out of that without it like, doing that backsplash. It gets me in my nose every time. You have a picture of yours that you got at a Native American gift shop when you were younger. You were told during an awakening that's why you found it. And you're talking about your dragon, I'm assuming, Scott Murphy. That's amazing. And we stumble on things that are like so meaningful to us that we don't even realize it until we like look at it in hindsight and we're like, I've had that my whole life and I didn't even realize what it meant. Like, I collect feathers. I've always collected feathers, random feathers, and I never understood why until I started connecting with like my, higher self and realizing that like he was giving me messages and that these feathers were messages and they were telling me different things about what I was going through at that time. Just like I look at the different types of feathers I was finding, during those times, and they just, represented so much what I was going through. And it was almost like my higher self just being like, I'm here, I'm carrying you through this, and this is just a reminder of that. And I didn't even realize it. And I still have all these feathers that I was collecting without even realizing it. It's amazing. You feel like a yellow dragon is with me, Glitch. I almost just called you Fairy. Because you wrote Fairy Sis, and I was like reading it. Sorry. Yeah, I had many dragons with me. Many. And they're so beautiful. Definitely. There was lots of gold energy. It was on this side, sorry. There was lots of gold energy I was feeling right here. I'm wondering if that's where you were seeing that yellow dragon. Because I was like feeling it and I was kind of seeing it. Like, I don't know if anybody else has this, but when you close your eyes, when your third eye, like when you look around your room with your third eye, you don't have to turn your head. You just like kind of can look over your shoulder and see what's behind you with your third eye without actually turning your head. Anybody else can do that? Because it's so weird. I've always like kind of tripped out when I do that. And it always happens a lot, like when I'm doing light language. Like you'll see me close my eyes. I'll feel beings like back here a lot. And I can like look back with my mind's eye and like literally like pick up on the color and the energy of what they are as I'm kind of bringing them through. It's so cool. I love what I do. It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm so like grateful, blessed. Like I feel very, very lucky. I'm actually kind of curious because as I was feeling the light language come through, because I channeled dragons before, like sometimes they come through a little more mellow, and then I do have my dragon aspect that comes through that's really, really intense, and I felt like that that energy scares people sometimes, so I hope it wasn't a little too gruffy for you guys. It's really intense energy. Take a drink of water, eat something. Yeah, so one of the things that I do after lives is I always eat after a live because eating food really grounds my energy. And a lot of times I'll actually fast before a live. Like I've been fasting for a couple days now. And it was kind of unintentional. I was going through a lot of stuff energetically, and when I do that, I lose my appetite basically, so I just couldn't eat. So one of the things that I do after lives is I eat food. Really grounding foods is also very helpful. So I'm talking like root vegetables, root foods, sweet potatoes, carrots, and stuff like that. And then, of course, because I usually forego all my little treats, I'll have some chocolate or like a cookie or something, a snack, or something with cheese, because I really love cheese, and usually I'll give up cheese too before meditation or live, because I feel like it kind of slows me down. It makes it harder for me to channel. I really feel like I can channel in meditation without going through all of these things, but when I'm channeling in lives, because I have so much of your guys' energy also that I'm connecting with, me having that more of a clear self helps me kind of sort through the energies as I'm channeling, because I'm picking up in your guys' frequency as well as the energy that I'm channeling. So that I'll just kind of, there's less chaos here, so I save that, and then I, kind of enjoy afterwards. I eat some food. I have my it's like my cheat moment, I guess you could say. I eat the food that maybe I wasn't gonna eat before, like that piece of chocolate or that cookie. So I love it. It's kind of like my thing that I look forward to after life. John Binney said, I got the message, your dragon is here with you, John. Which dragon do you choose next? Your journey to learn your lessons. That is a beautiful message, and it's so in alignment with what we were kind of going through. And I'm definitely going to have to do more dragon information meditations in the future, because I just have so much more information about dragons. I was barely even scratching the surface tonight, and I know we're at least an hour over, and I was just barely even scratching the surface. So there's more to come. There's so much more to know and more to learn. This is just the beginning of what we can do with that knowledge, with that wisdom, with that energy. The energy is comforting, not so fancy, Nancy. Thank you. I'm glad. The pressure has released from your ears. Amazing. So that could also mean you have begun the integration process. The downloads ended, and now you're integrating and assimilating the energy. So you're going to start, having realizations, quantum realizations about yourself and about your existence, and it's going to be amazing. I'm excited for you. I love it whenever that happens to me, and it happens to me all the time now. It seems like it's like when you don't think you could shift into gear, another gear up, you're like, I'm so high, how can I get higher? You can always get higher. Oh, for sure, you can always shift up. It's insane. And now my cat wants in. 1 second. Come on. All right. Oh, back just popped. I was talking about that earlier, not in this meditation, but the last meditation, how you can kind of get a lot of pain there. So releasing energy from that higher heart chakra through, I just love it when I have those realizations. Tom Eden, I have never thought about dragons so much. Amazing. Well, I'm glad to maybe inspire that thought process, and maybe you can learn more about your own dragon energy and embrace it and empower yourself through it. Dragon energy is very powerful, very purifying, and it's really you want to really stand in your sovereignty, overcoming all the lowest aspects of you. You overcoming that is standing in your sovereignty, because you can't be controlled by your lower self anymore, because you overcome it. You have taken responsibility and you have learned from it. There's no way for infringement to occur when you're in that frequency. That's why dragon energy is so powerful and such a great teacher. Embrace it. Yes, I was looking very unhealthy last time you saw me in Tahoe. So, and that was before San Francisco. I got even worse, Sarah. I got sicker than that. I was bad. So, it's good to start feeling healthy again. It's amazing. Honestly, I'm so grateful. Honestly, this journey has saved me. It saved everything. I was going deep. I was going down a bad path, and I don't think I would have made it out. I've fallen into a dark hole. I didn't want to be alive anymore. It was just getting really hard to exist. So I'm glad that I'm like in a different frame that I was. I'm just like, everything is different now. And I had to go through that. I had to basically experience dying. I had to die before I could be reborn. Phoenix Rising. Hannah Mori, I don't normally feel heat around my spine, usually electricity. Interesting. I get a lot of heat. Like, it's hot, like as if somebody was like holding a candle at the base of my spine kind of heat. Like, it's intense. The third eye is 360 degrees. Yeah, I figured it. I mean, because of it. I really need to educate myself more on this stuff. It's funny because a lot of it I kind of know intuitively, so if I just take the time to just like look into it, I remember most of the information just from learning it so many lifetimes after lifetimes after lifetimes. Treehugger Dave says, feathers and crystals connect our soul dots. And literally, as I was just talking earlier about this crystal, it came to me that it's just, where did I put it? It's like I literally asked for it. Like, I wanted a crystal. I wanted a thunder egg so bad, and I wanted it from here. And I was a little bit sad when I didn't get it when we went out on our Easter hike, but it came to me anyways. It just took a couple days. That's how manifestation works. And I guess because it wanted to be with me. It's connecting me to my soul dots. Thank you, Mahoney. Sharpens intuition, fasting. Yes, I agree. When I fast, I think so much more clearly, and I think that's part of the reason why I was maybe even fasting kind of unconsciously for this, because there's so much information that I have about dragons and that I know about dragons that I needed to only bring through certain parts of the information now during this live, otherwise it was just going to be too much. Like, I have to break it up into congruent, sections, so where your consciousnesses can like integrate the information and it's not completely putting you into like existentialism. That doesn't help anybody. The bright gold energy. That was you? That was you, Sarah? That was over here? Like right there? Like, that was intense. I felt that. Oh, I'm so glad you were here. Oh, I love having you here. I'm so glad you made it to a live. Oh, this makes me so happy. Great timing since we had the full moon. Yeah, and I wanted to do the meditation for the new moon. I think it was new moon in Taurus. Because I was picking up energies connected to Archangel Michael and dragons and all of that, which is really cool because I'm actually, I mentioned that because I wrote this down because I wanted to mention this. I'm going to be doing a video, and I wrote it down, connected to something that I picked up. And if you follow Indigo Angel's channel, did I not write it down? She talks a lot about the Aldebaran Stargate and how it's connected to the Archangel Michael ley lines and like the Taurus constellation. So we are going to be going into Taurus May 1st into the Taurus energy. I don't have it, so I'm just going to try to remember. So that's going to be activating Archangel Michael energy, as well as Archangel Michael ley lines and that frequency. So one of the weird synchronicities that I had today was Chakra Bunny had showed me this pendant that she had ordered, and it was Archangel Michael defeating the dragon. I was like, holy shit. Sorry, pardon my language. That is like a representation right there of like the higher self overcoming. It's like the alchemical transformation of higher self and lower self, like there in an image. Like the angel defeating the dragon is really not really an angel defeating a dragon. That's just how it's been depicted through the perception of, you know, the consciousness, collective consciousness, because of kind of how things have played out. There's a long story behind that. But there is, you know, something deeper behind that if you can look beyond, like, read between the lines kind of situation, where that can kind of represent the battle, the alchemical process that occurs before you hit that point of, you know, where you're in the oneness, where you are the dragon rider. You have to battle the dragon first, and you have to do it in, you know, from a higher perspective. So you have to look at that dragon from a higher perspective, from your higher self perspective, battle it, overcome it, become one with it, learn from its mistakes. And this is why this all happens simultaneously. That's why we have these simultaneous experiences where we're connecting with our higher self, embodying with our higher self, and then also as a lower self. That's why here, us, where we are, we're kind of in that midpoint, that apex point. That's why we are so energetically potent with our healing, with our self-awareness, with our self-realization, and how we energetically affect all of our bodies, lower, upper, outwards, inwards, on all levels in this now moment, through that awareness and through that understanding, and through healing, self-healing, working energy, understanding your operating system, keeping it clear, because none of us have been raised or, you know, taught to treat energy like a lifestyle. It's something that we should be doing all the time, every day. It should just be automatic. None of us do it automatically. It should be all the time. We should always be working with energy, healing ourselves, healing other people. It just should be something that's always happening, and we haven't gotten there yet. We will get there eventually. We're starting to. We're learning how to use the energy. We're teaching people how to use the energy. Eventually, we're going to get to a point where everybody knows how to use the energy. It's common knowledge, and that's when really things are going to change. Like, you're not going to see these fragmented, chaotic sources of energy feeding into phantom matrix, you know, wormholes and distortions that are created through unbalanced energy. Because if everybody understands energy, can work with it, can heal it, can see it, it can't exist. In order for those phantom matrix distortions to exist, there has to be imbalance. There has to be distortion, the blocks. So if you're working with your energy all the time, then that doesn't it's not there. The infringement isn't there. This is how you move out of lower experiences, basically, by understanding energy. Okay. So, May 1st, we'll be connecting with Aldebaran, Stargate, working with Archangel Michael energy, and then also with Antares. So this is really amazing, because Antares is a frequency I work with a lot, being connected to my rising sign. I'm Scorpio rising, so my Stargate, my rising energy is connected to Antares, which opposes Aldebaran. So we'll be working with Antares and Aldebaran energy, as well as Archangel Michael and Archangel Uriel. So Archangel Uriel is very much connected with the root chakra and working with, like, the Akashic knowledge, like hidden knowledge, stuff that maybe, like, occult stuff that maybe wasn't wanting to be looked at, the lower self, and brought up to the surface to be looked at. So that's going to be fun, and I don't know if I'm going to do that on a live, because I might have to just do a regular video for that one. But that's going to be May 1st is when the activations for that come through. So I'm checking the chat again real quick to see what's going on. Everybody's saying hi to the kitty. She's laying here now. She's finally being good. Yeah, she is a little furry dragon. She totally is. Did you know that the Ute Indians were connected to dragons and fairies? I did not know that. But I do know that, like the Pueblo is called, like, their version of like fairies, like kachinas, nature spirits, because if you want to think about like there's different versions of the kachina. There's ones that are connected to what we would consider the fae, the fairies. There are ones that are connected to other spirit beings that have different names. Like, sorry, I don't really want to fully get into that because that is just like a whole video in itself. But yes, I don't know enough about the Ute, but I can definitely resonate with them being connected to dragons and fairies. And Native Americans were very much connected with nature spirits. So fairies, dragons, elementals are all nature spirits. They work a lot with nature energy and elemental energy. And, you know, we are made up of elements. If you think about it, earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. It's all elements. Read Dancing with Dragons. I'm going to have to look that up. Ooh. Yeah, I do feel much better. Thank you, Not So Fancy Nancy. I'm so grateful that I got to go on this journey and that I've been kind of blessed to guide you all with me. I'm grateful that you all have chosen to join me on this journey and be here with me and listen to kind of the information I have to bring through. Because really, I don't talk about it with anybody else outside of these live streams because I don't know a lot of people here in Bend. Or, you know, just like hang out with people outside of... So you guys are like my crew now, like my buddies that I hang out with every Friday night. It's kind of amazing. I love it. John Binney, another friend had a dream you died recently. That's 3 friends now, and you think it's old versions of you dying away. That's very possible, because every time you have a thought of a potential experience, that part of you essentially breaks apart into a, you know, parallel reality and plays out that experience until it doesn't need to have that experience anymore. So if there's stuff that you're holding on to in this now moment that's quantumly entangled into, you know, those experiences, and then you heal it, those experiences no longer need to exist. They don't need to play out anymore because Source no longer needs to have that experience. Whatever lesson needed to be learned is learned. So they essentially just dissolve, don't exist anymore. And this could be experienced in the form of like death, symbolically. It's a great book on dragon energy. It sounds amazing. I just got like a random like burst of energy as I was reading that. So that's like kind of one of those signs that my guides give me, like, hey, pay attention. Maybe you should check that out. So I'm definitely going to check that out. Yeah, manifestation is amazing, Hanamori. Like, I have blown myself away with some of the things that I've manifested, good and bad. But it's like I always like can see it, like when it happens, I'm like, oh, I totally manifested that, and it's like it's so obvious too, because it's like you have the thought in your mind and you're like, oh, and sometimes you even have the thought like, I don't want to manifest that, and then you do. Hi, Shadow Playjacks. Welcome. You're a bit late. You missed all of the fun parts. We're kind of in the chat parts, but you can always watch the replay for the light language if you want the activation. I'm glad you're here. Oh, new moon. Okay, so you were talking about the new moon, not so fancy Nancy. Cool. You were born on a new moon, Hanamori? I think I was born on a crescent moon. Pretty sure it was a crescent moon when I looked it up, because you can look it up if you there's like, I wish I knew what it was, but there's like, you can probably Google search it. There's like apps and stuff they'll tell you what kind of a moon you were born under. Shadow play Jackie, Taurus. Earth energy. New moon yesterday. The new moon was on the 22nd. So, yeah. Yesterday. Day before yesterday. Maybe. It was like the night. It's like both. I know. I have a really hard time with keeping my days straight too, so I'm right there with you, not so fancy. Woo! Fractals are fractals, Hannah Mori. You know I love them fractals, man. I could just like talk about fractals all day because they just are basically like they explain so much. If you can understand fractals, you'll understand the universe. Yeah, days bleed into each other, then weeks. I've left my house one time since quarantine ended. Once. Well, no, twice. Because I went hiking on Easter with my kids, and then I went to the liquor store to get vodka, not to drink even, just to use, because I use it for my sprays. I take Palo Santo, like the little nubs, after it burns out, the little pieces on the bottom, and I grind them up, and I put them in the vodka with sandalwood, crushed sandalwood, and I let it sit in a jar, and just kind of like create like a tincture, and it smells really good, and it makes a really good base for my sprays. So all the sprays, me and Glitch, if you check out our store, our product is in my store. Check it out. There's, I think, only like 2 of the big bottles left and 2 of the small bottles left. So supplies is basically run out, but we're bringing in more products, some new ideas. It's going to be amazing. We've actually just been kind of working through some ideas just very recently. So it's very exciting. I'm so excited. You guys, this stuff is going to be amazing. Like, I can't really talk about it yet because we haven't worked everything through, but you guys just have no idea. We have some crazy awesome stuff in store for you. I'm super excited about that. May 1st is a holy day for you, Deliana. Nice. How is it Friday already? Yeah. No, it's Saturday in Scotland. So yeah, you can time travel. And I was thinking about that. It was so strange because time is such a man-made construct. It really, really, truly is, because you can literally go to Scotland and be in the next day. And you could literally do that on a plane. Like, and time travel where you're like time warping yourself. People have done it. It's so strange. It's just further proof that time is just an illusion. And it's a man-made construct, and that we can, if we want to, remove it from our programming. Maybe that's what we're kind of like initiating through this quarantine, like letting go of time. That could be part of kind of what we're initiating through this, because everything is being initiated through our higher selves. As much as we want to feel like this quarantine just sucks and it's like so bad, it's happening for a reason, and it's in order to help us ascend and grow consciously. We just have to see it for what it is. We have to see the signs where they are and see the messages as they come through. Yeah, John Binney wakes up at like 3 to be in these lives. It's amazing. You're such an awesome support system. Like, I'm so grateful for you, John. Like, honestly, I can't express it enough. Oh yeah, it's almost time for your run. Yeah, we got your schedule down, John Binney. Thank you. Soul Moons Rising says it's amazing to see what you have downloaded and the messages you have been given to share. I have more too. And Soul Moons Rising has been such an inspiration to me, you guys. I was going through, I wasn't clearing my energy properly at all, and I was working with too many people, and so I was taking on a lot of other people's energy, as well as not taking care of my own. So I was getting really super backed up and just falling into a deep pit again. And I basically stopped making videos, didn't want to make videos, didn't want to do anything, stopped taking clients, stopped doing everything. And Soul Moon's Rising really kind of helped pull me out of that energy. She's so motivational. She's just been such like a huge motivation to kind of like get me back into gear. So I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Jen, so much. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Scott. I'm grateful for you too. Your energy is always amazing. And I can feel like your bubbles coming through the screen. Like you have a bubbly energy. It's like bubbles and excitement is what I feel when I connect with your energy. Oh, thank you, Kibo, for staying and sticking around. I love having you here. And you know what's really funny is I just recently discovered that I had like a bunch of comments that were moved out of my visible, put in like likely spam folder, and some of yours were in there. So sorry for the delay on those. Thank you for your comments, and I just want you to know that I appreciate you and your support and for being here. Thank you. Yeah, it's a part of my soul's contract. Oh, I definitely agree. It's kind of funny you mentioned that, because even in past lives, like lifetime after lifetime, I always find myself in a position where I'm like teaching. So it's just part of my nature to just teach, to share knowledge, to share wisdom. So I love that you recognize that. Thank you, Sarah. You had a kitty named Kachina who was very sweet. Oh, yeah, and I love that name. And I love how the Native Americans have kind of embodied the different nature spirits in their costumes. If you've ever watched like a drum circle or been to a powwow and seeing some of the Kachina costumes and how they dress up, it's really amazing to kind of understand more of the esoteric nature behind them, and then also understand the very tribal and ancestral nature behind how they were created and the stories around how they were created. It's really beautiful. So I really wish I could have grown up understanding my Native American self more, but I'm sure I will eventually be able to go to New Mexico, meet with my Pueblo tribe, and understand more about Tiwa and what it represents, and then maybe even also be able to make the trip. I don't know how to connect with. I don't have the same kind of connection with the Blackfoot tribe as I do with the Tiwa, because my cousin has connection with the tribe and the tribal leaders and the tribe itself. So it's a little easier to do that with the Tiwa. So that's something that I want to do in the future. And any of you in the chat that also connects with Native American lineage or history or are Native American, like there's a lot there. There's so much beautiful esoteric knowledge kind of delicately woven within their stories, within the stories that they tell about the ancestors and the Kachinas and everything. It's just really beautiful. It's very symbolic. I love it. It's hard to explain unless it's something that you've experienced as an individual. Going to like a powwow or sitting in a drum circle or listening to an elder tell a story. Get more downloads, not so fancy Nancy. Oh, thank you, Shadow Play Jax. I send you love as well. And I'm so grateful for you. Thank you, JW. Thank you for being here. I know it's getting pretty late and the numbers have definitely dwindled down. And I'm actually surprised we're still going at 17 in the chat at an hour and 48 minutes in. So this is amazing. Thank you all for being here. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. This is amazing. Technically it's Saturday now for you, because you're on the East Coast, aren't you, Hannah Mori? You've only left your house 3 times, except your backyard, which you're grateful for. I wish I had a yard. I really do. That's why, and I think that might even be why I was so drawn to your video, Tom Eden, was because of the nature aspect of it. Bravery's been posting like videos of his nature walks, and I just love them because I don't really get to see a lot of nature here. I don't really get to leave my house. It's just something that's not very accessible for me at this time. So when I get to see it through your guys' eyes, through your experience, it's almost like I'm going on these walks with you. And I love it. So keep doing that. Keep posting those videos, you guys. Yeah, glitch and fairy oils there is a link in the description box, so they are really easy to find, and like I said, they're like almost completely gone. So if you want to get them now, because there's only like, I think like 4 items left. I do have small jars that I keep of each scent in case there is one specifically that somebody wants that you can order, and I can make it custom for you that isn't in stock. So hit me up. If you go to the store and you're like, oh, I wanted this specific fragrance and it's not there, just email me and let's work something out, alright? Yes, this is what the collective is waking up to more fully. And I agree with that, Scott Murphy, and that and more. And it's good, like, honestly, what a time to be alive, right? Like, wow. You're in New York, Hannah Mori? New York in the house, so is Glitchy Glitch. Anybody else from New York? Ooh, I feel something on my back. Are you going to bed? Good night, Glitch. Thank you for being here. I know it's super late over there where you're at too. I'm sure probably everybody's getting ready to go to bed. I still feel something on my back. Is there something hanging out back there? There's like a tickle back there. Thank you all so much for being here. If anybody has more questions, go ahead and throw those in the chat. We'll go ahead and start wrapping it up because I know we're going on 2 hours. You have clear past life recalls of Native Americans as one or working with them. Like, I would love to hear your stories, John Benny. John has the best stories. John, you gotta start doing some more lives, like telling people about your stories. You have amazing stories. Like, he has great music on his channel, you guys. Check out John Benny's channel if you want to, like, see some amazing music. But I'm serious about them lives. Like, you do lives with your music, but you should also do lives where, like, tell these stories. I know you tell them through your songs, though, too. That's kind of how you do it. So, I guess that's part of it. He tells his stories through his songs. Listen to them. They're awesome. You did the mohawk when you were younger, Deliana? I've never had a mohawk, although my husband just shaved my head for me recently, and it was kind of cool because we were, like, looking at it. We're like, if you look at it from the side, it almost looks like I have a mohawk. I was like, maybe I should do a mohawk next. We were considering it, like maybe taking out both sides so that I could hawk it. I'm still, like, playing around with it because I really kind of like it. Like, because I was just, like, kind of getting a little bit of a taste of it, and I was like, ooh, that looks kind of cool. So, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you want to see me mohawk it. When you had hair, Hannah Mori. You're gonna hold it down as long as I do? I mean, I'm here as long as you guys want to. It's just, it felt like oh wait, we had more people come in, so I don't know. If you guys want to keep hanging out, I'm here. I mean, you see fairies in the, you're going to sleep, not so fancy Nancy. Good night. Thank you for being here. You see fairies in the woods next to your house. Your daughter sees and hears them too. John, that's amazing. I'm so glad your daughter sees them. My kids see them too, better than me. I see them out of the corners of my eyes and stuff. I don't ever see them dead on. It's as much connected with them, you would think, oh yeah, she totally sees them dead on. No. I see them out of the corner of my eyes. I see them with my mind's eye. I connect with them in meditation and stuff like that. But no, I don't see them, like, straight up right in front of me. My kids see them all the time, though. They're always, like, pointing. I was there, fairy. I was like, oh. I kind of thought I might have seen something out of the corner of my eye, but I wasn't sure. Thank you, Kibo. Thank you for being here. Good night, Hannah Mori. Oh, are you saying good night? I'm not sure. It just says G. Thank you, Strawberry Time. Thank you for being here. You're Heinz 57, but your brothers and dad are native JW. I'm Heinz 57 too. I just have, native connections. But I'm so mixed. It's not even funny. Totally Heinz 57. I was a bartender for a long time, and I can't tell you how many bachelor parties took bets on whether or not I was Asian or what my race was. Like, most of the time it was on whether or not I was Asian. Most of the time. Every now and then it was like they would take bets on what race I was, but most of the time it was on whether or not I was Asian. I know I don't look very Asian right now, but when I wear makeup, I turn hella Asian. Your wife has a mohawk, Scott Murphy. Took 2 years to grow out. I really want one. I'm seriously considering it. Oh, my hair is beautiful. I know. I love doing things with my hair though. It's like my expression. It's how I express myself through my hair. Mohawks are badass. Oh, you're still here, Kibo. Nice. Oh, I'm so glad to have you guys all here right now. This is so cool. So, tell me in the comments, go ahead, because I'm all caught up on my chat pretty much. What kind of experiences have you guys had with spirits and otherwise? Yeah, you're for the mohawk too, John Vinny? That would look cool, right? Oh yeah, a music program. That sounds cool, Shadow. Definitely. Email me or message me on Instagram or whatever. You know how to get a hold of me. Deliana, I had a long burgundy mohawk from 15 to 27. It was very hard to stop shaving my head because I loved how it felt. I know, right? It's like amazing. Like I only shave this part, but usually I like shave the whole back of my head, and then I was like, I could just like rub it all the time. I'm like, oh, it's amazing. I like it. Too long of a list. Oh, you had a blue mohawk once? Oh my gosh, Del, you sounded like you were so much fun to hang out with. I mean, I'm not saying was. Sorry, that was past tense. That was weird. Like, you sounded like kind of a party animal, though. Is it like blue mohawk? Like, I would have liked to hang out with you. And purple a few times. It's no wonder our energies connect so well. Like, we connect so well. Through John Vinny. Like, I never would have ever even connected with Deliana if it wasn't for John. So thank you, John. Because, like, I understand why we resonate with each other so much, Del. We're just so similar. There was a ghost in my house a few times. It was the father of the old owner. He died here and has been annoying my wife. After 2 years last night, I got him to leave. Oh, did you finally, like, get the message? Like, okay, here, I see you. Maybe he had some unfinished business and he finally took care of it. Got rid of him. I don't know. That's interesting. I really want to start understanding ghosts more, too, because I used to see them a lot when I was a kid and experience them a lot, and they scared me a lot, and so I really started blocking them out. So when I started my awakening process, I just kind of totally bypassed, like, ghosts and all of that, and just went straight to ETs. I was like, ETs, yeah! Aliens, love aliens, you know. And so now I'm kind of dropping back down to Earth and connecting with the spirits that are earthbound as well as ETs. So I've really been, like, in my channeling journey, my journey of channeling and connecting with beings and spirits beyond this realm. Really, that's been fun, connecting with ghosts. One of the first ghosts I feel like I connected with consciously, started off unintentionally, but has really made an impact on my ability to connect with spirits, has been my grandpa. and he's not even my biological grandpa. He's my stepdad's dad. But he just happened to be an energy that is important to me, a frequency that knows how to connect with me astrally, and occasionally bring through messages for my dad and for me, and just comfort. One time he did a mohawk and it was too short, so it looked like a shrunken head guy on Beetlejuice. Did you take a picture? There was an entity attached to the father which kept him there. Forgiveness released him and cleared him. Remember how we was talking about earlier how like spooky action at a distance, quantum entanglement, fragments of ourselves that attach themselves to other beings essentially, spirits, unfinished business, that's all connected. It's all that quantum entanglement. So whoever was attached, whatever entity was attached to that spirit was released through an energy healing of whoever maybe was quantumly entangled on a soul level, maybe incarnated in that reality. Healed it so it released from the father and was able to go home. That's amazing. It's amazing how this stuff works. Hanamori, my grandmother's house is from the Revolutionary War. The whole family knows the place is haunted. Interesting. So have you had some cool experiences then, Hanamori, with some ghosts? Spooky stuff happening around the house? JW, I have a video talking about some of my ET experiences, but I swear a lot so some people might not like it. I really had to cut down on my swearing because a lot of people will let their kids watch some of these videos. So I really had to catch my swearing because I used to like kind of just like not give up and just kind of curse a lot in the beginning, and I've had to watch that because I had in the beginning I just really didn't have very many subscribers either, and so I wasn't worrying about that so much. But JW, anybody in the chat, if they want to check out his channel, JW, you can throw the link in. I don't know if it'll let you post it, but if you want to put the link in the comments after the live so people can find it, that is okay. And I'll even check my likely spam just to make sure, because I think sometimes it's going to go into that folder, and I'm going to have to start checking that regularly to make sure that YouTube isn't blocking my comments from you guys. You won't go into ET stuff right now, but you've had several experiences. And vampires are real, yes. There are different kinds, and they are different kinds of aliens. Yes, yes, and yes. And vampires are basically just a type of alien. Basically everything that is alien. We have this weird perspective of what aliens really are. But, yeah. Vampires are real. Vampires are basically just another type of consciousness, another type of realm, another type of being, another type of entity, another type of existence, and they exist in order to create a balance within, all things. So, it's just understanding why the energy is present and how these distortions kind of came into play through different types of energies. I can really get into some deep esoteric stuff connected to vampires, but I'm not going to right now. Just because, I was super into vampires and stuff like that growing up, into really dark stuff, and having to understand why I had those reasons that I liked those things really led me to understanding what all of that meant, and also being able to look at it from a perspective of not judging, not looking at it as evil or bad like a lot of people want to. They don't want to look at the darker, the evil, the bad. It's like, okay, I accept it for what it is, so let's learn more about it. And that's kind of, I think, part of the reason why I've been able to overcome a lot of the shadows that have been kind of coming up as they come up. It's like, you want to fight? You want to fight? Let's battle. Let's do this. No visual or physical experiences. If it wasn't for my clairaudience, I wouldn't have a clue what was going on in your noggin. Scott Murphy, that's amazing. See, my clairaudience is so minimal. Like, I get, like, tones and frequencies. I don't get much more than that, and I really wish it could open up more. I've asked, like, so much, and a lot of it I feel like is because I have so many other abilities that are more powerful and more prevalent, that it's like we all have these parts of us that are more prominent. For you, Scott Murphy, you are more clairaudient. That is going to be an ability within you that is going to be like your prominent ability. For me, I'm highly, like, empathic. Like, I can feel things so much that they almost feel like they're mine. So when I work with people, I can essentially, like, tune into their energy and be able to break down their system, because I can, like, become their system. And that's kind of how my abilities work. Everybody's abilities work differently. So we all have different abilities. We all have different strengths. We're all powerful. We're all psychic. We all have abilities. Just not all of us have the same ones. Oh, cool. Thank you, JW. It did post. Hopefully you guys can see that. So if anybody wants to check out that video, JW did post a link for it. Interview with the Vampire was a powerful movie. That's a really good movie. I agree. I remember seeing it a long time ago, and I'm gonna have to watch it again because I haven't watched it. I really kind of stopped watching a lot of TV and movies after my awakening process, because it's just there are so many other things that I needed to be doing with my mind that didn't involve distracting it with TV. So I really just don't. The only time I will actually take the time to watch TV is because I'm sitting there and watching it with my husband. And that's how we kind of hang out, is watch TV together, watch a movie together, Netflix or something together. Because we have kids and he has a job and we have busy lives, our only time together is sitting there and watching Netflix together. And so I will take the time to watch TV when I'm watching it with him, but outside of that, I don't. I just don't. I don't turn it on for myself, because it just feels like a waste of time. It feels like a distraction. Like, I could be doing so many other things. I'll watch, like, a YouTube video or something if it's, like, telling me something I need to know, like, informational right now. That's about the closest I'll get to that. Anne Rice. Oh, my God. Anne Rice is my favorite novelist. Oh, my God. So, when I first started getting into vampires was because of Anne Rice and her books. You never resonated at all with vampires or werewolves or anything like that? See, I resonated with all those things. I loved vampires, loved werewolves, loved all the dark things, anything dark, black, everything. I loved the darkness. I loved it. I thrived in it. And understanding why was an important part of my awakening process. Because when I first woke up, I was like, well, if I like all these dark things, but I'm like this spiritual being, does that mean I was just like an evil-ass person? Like, what does that mean? It doesn't mean that at all. I mean, I may have had lifetimes where I was not so savory. Not such a nice person. But we all have had those. If you don't want to look at it, then you're not ready to do that shadow work. That's something you have to be willing. That's that cave. You want to go into the cave, you want to face the dragon, you want to face your lowest self. That's where that comes from. But yeah, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with you, Scott Murphy. I'm just saying that's how I am. And maybe you just didn't have as many shadows that you had to overcome in this incarnation. Your journey is different. Your journey is more connected to a different path. My journey is very much connected to transmuting darkness into light. So I had to experience a lot of dark, and I had to resonate with a lot of dark first before I could learn how to transmute it. Strawberry time. I used to see my grandpa's after he passed when I was 4. He used to sit at the end of the bed in a white robe with a rainbow collar, and it started to scare me, so he left as you were recovering from surgery. That's amazing. So it sounds like he was actually visiting you and, like, either like an angelic or like an ascended master. Maybe he's even your guardian angel. Have you tried ever since then, like reaching out to or communicating with him in any way, in any form? Being open to, sometimes, like for me, how my grandpa communicates with me when he comes into my presence is I'll feel almost like a shift in the energy, like not so much a shift in temperature, but just like you feel a shift, like almost like your body just moves for a second, but you don't. It's like I feel, and so I'll just like feel, and like you almost feel like somebody's behind you, and I'll be like, okay, and I'll say, who is this? And if my eyesight immediately goes to the color blue, and then I change my eyesight and it goes to blue, change my eye direction, it goes to blue, and I'm just hitting blue every time, that's how he tells me, hey, it's me, hi, I'm Grandpa. That's how he like, that's like, almost like his handshake, like, hey, you know, we're connecting, I'm making you aware of who I am, we're communicating. And then once I have that, established that connection, I can clear my mind. That way when thoughts come through, I can discern what's mine and what's communication through him, because he speaks to me through my thoughts. And not everybody does this. Like, Scott, you have clairaudience. You may hear actual audible spoken word. For me, I don't have that, so it comes through my claircognizance, it comes through my thoughts. So I'll get like a word, and then I'll get a color, and then I'll get a feeling, and I'll have to translate that code into a message. It's scary sometimes. You ask a question and get a word for word direct answer from anyone or anything all the way up to source. That's amazing, Scott. That is amazing. You should really be like flexing that muscle, building it up, making it powerful. Like that's an incredible gift. Hold on to that. Build that. Flex that muscle. Use that muscle. My freaking back is like shooting up again. Like I'm getting so much energy. Woo! It's like on fire! Queen of the Damned was the first book of the original trilogy. I read it, and it was way better than the movie. The movie was good, though, too. And I actually hadn't even realized that the movie and the book were connected at first when I had gotten the movie, until I started watching the movie and was like, oh my gosh, because I hadn't read the book Queen of the Damned. I had read other books from the series, and I started recognizing the name, like Lestat, and you're like, wait, what? Lestat? I know that name, and then you start recognizing different themes within the storyline, and I was like, oh my gosh, this reminds me of a book I read, and then I realized it was a book from the series. I just hadn't read that book yet, because I don't think I read any of them in order. I think I just read random books out of the series. I haven't read the whole series. There's like a lot of them. There was like 9 books or something like that. You hang out with my hubby and watch TV too. We are all one. We all hang out together. Deliano, yes, we are all more powerful than we know. I second that. So powerful. Strawberry time. My grandma went traveling, I don't know where, but she showed me a picture of Jesus she took on a mountain. Look legit. Was it like a figure? I'm not fully sure what you're saying. Like, did she take a picture of like a person that said he was Jesus, or was it like a being, like a light being? If you clarify. Dark does not equal evil. Exactly, Hannah Mori, you are exactly right, because some of the most incredible things are birthed through, like, and this was one of the things that I'm going to be talking about when I get into the Aurora consciousness, is how essentially, like, ascension is like birth. Think about the womb, how it's kind of dark and inside, and think about outside of the womb. So in order for this planet, the womb, to ascend, it would have to be born, which means it would essentially have to be hosted by another entity, sphere, being, whatever, planet. So if you consider in terms of particle rotation, everything has different spins, different particle rotation, and that creates different dimensions, frequencies, and realities. So imagine a body, an element, at a different particle spin rotation that would essentially be like a host around our planet. So we wouldn't be able to see this body, but it would essentially be like our mother, our host. And it's like the energy that would essentially be hosting this ascension. So our planet is in an ascension, so it would essentially be in a womb, in a dark, dark place where it's growing. We're having all these experiences of growth. Imagine a baby and all the cells dividing and growing into what it becomes before it's born. This is like kind of, we're the cells that are creating that baby that is ready to be born, and what is going to be born is what we call New Earth. And we're being hosted essentially by a consciousness called Aurora Consciousness. So we're like the baby in the womb. All the cells of the baby are like each individual person experience, creating this being who's about to be born on a collective level. Kind of cool. Like, I don't know if you guys can break down the visualization the same way I'm seeing it inside my mind. Hopefully that will resonate with somebody. Changing the dark into light. Yes, that is transmutation. That is alchemy. Turning a base metal into gold. You know, like a piece of iron into something shiny. That has indeed been what I've been led to. I came in with very little shadow, only my strongest ones as part of my dispensation to help others at this time. That's amazing. I'm so glad that we connected, Scott. I'm so grateful to have you as part of this team, part of this community, and part of this, you know, this energetic alliance. That's how I kind of feel like this community is like an energetic alliance. Deliana, my grandma sat on my bed and I feel her around me. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love it. I love being able to connect with loved ones that have passed on. And like even my papa, he passed on a year ago. It was right after my awakening. And every now and then I'll get the smell of like, and it's so weird, like cow poop. And there's no cows, like, in my apartment, obviously. And so it's like, if my husband's boots aren't here, because every now and then I'll get the smell from his boots if he does a job site where there's a lot of cows. But if he's not home and his boots aren't home and I'm smelling it, then I know it's my papa. It's like, I'll get smells that will remind me of certain people that have passed on. And I know it's just them, their energy, their spirit. They're with me, connecting, checking in on me. Because you don't actually... You just transition to another space fabric. It's like going to the other side of the curtain. And you're still there. It's just a little bit harder to see ya. Some months ago, I saw a plasma-type being come and roll through the room. It was very big. I felt it. It was a very energetic being. JW, you might have had an experience with an angelic frequency. Like, I don't know about you, but when I connect with the angels, their energy is very plasma-like. Like, it's like, I don't see them in, like, super, like, a physical form. It's more like energy streams of plasma and, like, fire, like flames. That's what they look like to me. The info never stops. Haven't even been led to use most of it yet. My journey starts when the collective tide breaks, I believe soon. And you will be guided to speak publicly when you are needed for that, or to work with the collective with your gift when you are needed for that. If you haven't been guided to do it yet, it's because there are still aspects of your gift that you need to integrate before you can essentially use it to help heal other people. And so honor your journey in the place that you are in it, and then when you are guided and called to essentially share it, then don't be afraid to. Oh my gosh. I'm tripping and falling over everything over here. Mm-hmm. Yes, light being. Yeah, it could have, and you know, it could have been just not even to the angelic form of I don't know, light being. Everybody has their own terms. Light being, angels. I actually had written down different dimensional consciousness. I think it was. I'll have to I'll have to do a meditation on the all of that. Oh, here we go. So yeah, that would be like density, 8th dimension, 7th and 8th dimension and above. You're really gonna start getting into like light body, light beings. I believe many of us among this family that have been less vocal are our brother. I'm not sure what that means. I've been wondering if the few are training in the group with their confidence. You might have to reword that. I'm not sure if I'm reading it right. I'm kind of confused what you're trying to say. Jesus and the mother are real. They came to me about 6 months ago. Yes, they are. They're actual energetic beings that you can call on for assistance in healing, for assistance in clarification, connecting, like, healing mother energy is really great if you want to call on Mary Magdalene. I've mentioned in the past I have a lot of mother problems, and so she's helped me work through some serious stuff. You don't have to be a religious person to connect with spiritual energy. I'm not religious at all. I'm just spiritual. I really try to stay out of conformed rules that are kind of aligned with religions. The construct of them. So, and that's just my perspective. I don't judge people because I have a lot of people who are close to me that I love that are religious, and I don't judge them for that at all. I feel like it's just part of their experience and their journey. Yeshua and Mary are very real. They're Pleiadians. Well, in some form of aspect, like before humans existed, there were ETs and angels and all that. So yes, I've actually heard a lot that Jesus was Pleiadian. So that makes sense, considering that he's like of the same archetypal aspect of like the family line of Archangel Michael. So that would be like Taurus energy, Aldebaran, Stargate. Where else was I picking up that frequency from? Jesus. Pleiadians. I feel like the Pleiades is near Taurus. Maybe that's why I'm thinking of it. I'll have to look at where that kind of aligns. Maybe it does. Maybe that's why I'm thinking of that. I feel like there is a connection though, because that does resonate that there might be a connection there. Is Uranus tied to Gaia? Maybe Uranus is birthing new Earth. Interesting. I'm not sure about that, Scott Murphy. So what I'm actually talking about is what I was speaking at, and it's going to be a video coming, was Aurora Consciousness. And if you look up Aurora Consciousness, you can Google it. they have some information out there. Under the Threefold Founder Flame, you can look up I think it's called the Ascension Glossary. We'll have some information on there. There's other blogs and places you can find information. I would just look into specifically Aurora Consciousness and the Threefold Founder Flame and see what resonates with you, because I don't necessarily want to tell you where to look, what website to look on. I want you to be guided by your higher self to find out what resonates with you, because I feel like that's better. Do you guys think that you all belong to a group? I believe that we all are groups within groups within groups that eventually all become one. So it's like you have source in, oneness, and then you have different dimensions, experiences. And I can break this down to like 12. If you go down to like 12th dimension, so the 13th would be like source, the void, the infinity. Then you have 12th, which would be like the universal self, so the universe in its wholeness. This is also like essentially where you would have the fusion point of where other universes would meet beyond the 13th density. Let's see, so that's the 12th. The 11th would be your God self, so the divine feminine, divine masculine. Hyros, Gamos, this is the twin flame union within higher self and lower self. Divine feminine would be, the lowest form, which is why sometimes connected to the mother, primordial consciousness, dragon consciousness, and then the highest self, which is why sometimes people see the divine father as, God in heaven is the father. That's where a lot of that has been confused and brought into, the female aspect being evil and bad and dark, because it was the lower self versus the higher self, which is all just energy. It's not evil or bad or negative or good or any of that. It's all just energy. It really is. The 10th density would be Christ consciousness, also the galactic center. So when you are at 10th density consciousness, you are essentially essential sun. You are a sun. That is sun consciousness. At 9th density, you're at oversoul consciousness, or oversoul memory complex. So this is like all the oversouls put together into a memory complex. This is a monad consciousness, so this is 9th density. At 8th is where you would be the individualized oversouls. So this would be like archangel consciousness. 7th density, 6th density, and below. 7th density is your higher self, okay? So 6th and below would be the lower bodies. The 6th being the causal, connected to the third eye, past lives, Akashic records, and once you transcend that density, you are an ascended master. And then the 7th would be you become your higher self. And then, of course, all the densities above that are aspects of the higher self. Just brought up into different forms. So you have the higher self at 7. 8, you have archangel consciousness, which is the oversoul. So the memory complex of higher selves. And then 10th would be the Christ consciousness. 11th, God self, divine feminine, divine masculine. 12th, universal self. 13th would be source, infinity. I hope that makes sense to somebody. I'm definitely going to have to, that's going to be brought into more understanding when I do the video on May 1st. JW, I always feel like I get along with any group, but I've never felt like I belong to any group. Sometimes it bothers me. maybe it's because you weren't meant to belong, because you were meant to question the fabric of the group itself. Look at it from an outsider point of view, because you can't always understand everything when you're right in the thick of it. Sometimes you need somebody to be able to see it from that outside perspective, to be able to see what the people inside aren't seeing. So maybe your gift as a being is to be able to see things from an outside perspective, and that's why you feel like such an outsider, like you don't belong, because it is in your nature to maybe go against the flow and not belong, because that's how you grow as a being, as an individual. Scott Murphy says, I want that day so bad. Oh my god. Ha ha ha. Patience. It's like all Michael even says to me anymore. Oh, Archangel Michael, is that who you're talking about? Okay. I mean, because you got that clairaudience. I bet he just like tells you a whole bunch of stuff. I bet my guides kind of, they have to get really creative with you when they're bringing through messages. Let's just leave it at that. Deliana, I have received activations in the last week that have me thinking I am connected to Blu-rays, but I feel connected in lots of areas. No one label will ever fit me. That's because you're probably a Galaxy C Del, like me. You're going to resonate with everything because you just will. You're never going to be able to like say, I'm just this or just that. You're going to be like, no, I'm this and a little bit of that and a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Deliana, I have family from the stars that is blue, white, light I have known for years. That's beautiful. I love that you can connect with your star family like that. That's so amazing. That really is. Oh, you were responding to Hannah Mori saying that I believe those of us in his family have been less vocal are being trained by others in their confidence. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you for clarifying that, Scott Murphy. We do have so much in common, Del. I'm so glad we connected. Thank you, John. Thank you, Hannah Mori. I'm starting to figure it out. I get so confused with this chat. It's so frustrating. Good night, Strawberry Time. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm so glad you joined us for this meditation. And thank you for like being such an incredible support system. You've been here through all these meditations, and I'm so grateful for you. So thank you for being here. Hannah Mori, I started using the violet flame when I was around 9 or 10, so like 80 years ago. Good night, Strawberry Time. I was told a few weeks ago that my integrated higher self returned to 7D. Amazing. That's amazing. I love that. Okay, John Vinny, you heading off to write songs. Thank you so much for being here. I'm actually going to cut this live short, too, because it's 10:30 where I'm at, and I still haven't eaten today. I'm hungry now. I gotta go have my cookie. I got a cookie waiting for me. Yes, good night, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. What, Ninja Alien, you're here? What? Hi, how are you? I don't think you've ever been on one of my lives. So Ninja Alien is an OG for real. Like, he's been around since I just like began this channel. Thank you for being here. Such an honor to have you. I'm so bummed where I'm actually just about to leave. I'm just about to close out, but I'm so grateful that you're here. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Okay. I think that's it for everybody. I'm so grateful for you all. Oh, I'm so glad I stayed on long enough to say hi to you, Ninja Alien. Thank you for being here. I always look forward to seeing your comments when I see them. They make my heart jump with a little bit of joy. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Hannah Mori. Thank you, John Binney. Thank you, JW and Deliana. Scott Murphy, Hannah Mori, I think I said you twice. Anybody that I'm missing, I love you all so much. Thank you so much for being here. And I will see you guys soon. If not, before next Friday. I love you. Mwah.